In this chapter, Hercule Poirot formally joins the investigation. As Inspector Raglan confidently lays out a seemingly airtight case against a prime suspect, Poirot begins his own, more subtle inquiries, culminating in a peculiar discovery in a summer house.
We looked at each other, considering the inspector's news about the phone call.
You'll have inquiries made at the station, of course, though I'm not over-sanguine. At that time of night, with the express coming in, the whole place is in a bustle. The chances of one person being noticed are very small.
But why telephone at all? There seems no rhyme or reason in it.
Be sure there was a reason.
He went to the window and stood there, looking out.
You say it was 9 o'clock, Dr. Shepard. When you met this stranger, how long would it take him to reach this window?
5 minutes at the outside. 2 or 3 if he took the path on the right.
But to do that, he would have to know the way. It would mean he had been here before.
We decided to ask Raymond and Parker if any strangers had visited that week. Colonel Melrose went to find the secretary, and I rang for the butler.
No idea you'd been living among us incognito, M. Poirot. A great privilege to watch you at work. Hello, what's this?
While my back was turned, Poirot had moved the large grandfather chair out from the wall to the position Parker had indicated earlier.
Raymond, this chair was pulled out last night. Someone moved it back again. Did you do so?
No, indeed, I didn't. Somebody else must have. Have they destroyed a clue? Too bad.
It is of no consequence. What I really want to ask is, did any stranger come to see Mr. Ackroyd during this past week?
Raymond couldn't recall anyone, but Parker, who had just entered, remembered.
There was the young man who came on Wednesday, sir, from Curtis and Trout, I understood. A fair-haired young man, sir, and short.
The man you met was tall, was he not, Doctor?
Yes, about 6 feet.
There is nothing in that, then.
Poirot seemed satisfied. He glanced around the study again. If those walls could speak.
A tongue is not enough. They would have to have also eyes and ears. But do not be too sure that these dead things are always dumb. To me, they speak sometimes.
What message? What have they said to you today?
An opened window, a locked door, a chair that apparently moved itself. To all three I say, why? And I find no answer.
We went out onto the terrace, where we met Inspector Raglan. His face was grim and satisfied.
So there you are, M. Poirot. Well, this isn't going to be much of a case. A nice enough young fellow gone wrong.
I'm afraid I shall not be able to be of much aid to you then.
To begin with, Method, that's what I always say. Mr. Ackroyd was last seen alive at 9:45. The doctor says he was dead at least half an hour by 10:30. That gives us exactly 1/4 of an hour in which the crime must have been committed. I made a list of everyone in the house, and their alibis are all solid.
His theory was entirely focused elsewhere.
Now we come to a grave point. The woman at the lodge saw Ralph Patton turn in at the gate. Exactly 25 minutes past 9, he took the shortcut to the terrace.
There was a heavy silence.
It's all clear. At 9:25, Peyton is seen. At 9:30, Raymond hears him arguing with Ackroyd about money. He leaves, angry. A few minutes later, the drawing room is empty. He slips in, takes the dagger, goes back to the study window, climbs in, and does the deed. Then he makes for the station and rings you up, Doctor.
Why?
It's difficult to say, but murderers do funny things. Now, come along, and I'll show you those footprints.
He led us to the study window and laid a pair of Ralph Patton's shoes over the marks on the sill.
They're the same rubber studs.
A very foolish young man, Captain Ralph Peyton, to leave so much evidence of his presence.
After the inspector left, Poirot's eyes fixed on a small summer house.
How say you, Dr. Shepard? Shall we investigate that summer house? It interests me.
Inside, it was almost dark. To my surprise, Poirot dropped to his hands and knees and began crawling about the floor. Then he stopped, stiffening all over. He reached out and detached something from the side of a rustic chair. What is it? What have you found?
What do you make of it, my friend?
A scrap torn from a handkerchief? Then he made another dart and picked up a small goose quill. He slipped the quill into his pocket and looked again at the scrap of white stuff.
A fragment of a handkerchief? Perhaps you are right. But remember this, a good laundry does not starch a handkerchief.